Welcome back to the Project Manga podcast, where we cover One Piece, My Hero, Black Clover, Mashle, Chainsaw Man, and Jujutsu Kaisen week to week. Back this week, covering Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 32. I'm your host, Eagle.
What up, it's Kiko.
Noxie.
And Nickums.
And for the first time ever on this series, on our Jump reviews, we have a very special guest joining us. Danchou from Danchou's Hideout, man. How's it going? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, what's going good? I'm glad to see you guys, man. Really glad to see you guys.
Yes, dude.
Hell yeah. And Danchou helped us collab together on AniTubeCon 2020. He came up with the Jujutsu X Hunter panel that we appeared on, and came up with all the questions and talking points for that. So he killed the game on that.
Amazing conversation.
We'll include the links for that panel for anyone who hasn't seen it below. But Danchou, why don't you go ahead and tell the audience what you do?
Well, I'm known as your favorite below average Jujutsu Kaisen YouTuber. I love talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. I just want to make sure I'm a big part of it in every fashion, whenever it does blow, if it never blows. I just want to be known for it, and anything that I do, to be honest. But for sure.
Yeah.
But I just love I love what Gege Akutami is doing for Jump. So reminiscent of Hunter x Hunter and how much I love Hunter x Hunter and just being kind of a deconstruction of what Shonen is. And I feel like Akutami is approaching that in certain aspects, and I really like to see it. So I want to just keep preaching the gospel.
Yes, keep preaching the gospel.
Hell yeah.
And man, watch his videos, man. He knows what the fuck he's talking about, dude. I love his channel.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, for anybody who wants to check out some Danchou content, some Jujutsu shit, we'll include the links for his channel in the description box down below. And while you're down there, go ahead and visit that link tree where you can find the links to any and all of our online communities, audio listening platforms to consume the podcast on, as well as links to support the podcast if you would so choose. And with all that being said, how do you guys feel about this week in Jump?
It's so short.
It's short, man. 4 chapters to cover. That's crazy.
5.
Yeah.
Wait, we have 5?
No, 4.
No, it's 4. I was about to say that I missed one because I
Shit! Oh god!
The secret hero chapter came out. We didn't read.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah.
What is Matt?
No, great week though. Great week though.
Yeah, super excited.
Yeah.
Super excited.
So I mean, we can probably just go ahead and jump right into it.
Yes, please.
With Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 114, the Shibuya Incident, part 32.
Let's go.
Danchou, go ahead, man. Why don't you take it away for us, since you're our first guest on Jump Show ever.
Hell yeah.
I kind of hate you telling me to go first, and
hey, Jujutsu's your bag, man.
I feel like I'm kind of deflecting, but I'm answering because I gotta give props to Noxie because he called it last.
Let's go.
And he did.
He did call the flow of the chapter.
He did. He called it so smooth, and I have to give him props for that. I love it. You know, us being able to really see beforehand what's going on with Akutami and really paying attention to everything going on. It was really awesome to see.
It was about time for us to get. Thank you for the props. It was about time for us to get Kusakabe and Panda. I feel like it was. Like, obviously, we have the chapter now, so I want to say, like, well, obviously, we were going to Kusakabe and Panda, but honestly, it could have went a couple of different places.
Any number of ways.
It could have literally went anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of gassed up. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm feeling all right.
In play here.
Yeah.
But in terms of that, though, what I do want to ask you guys, with the chapter, how do you guys feel about the ghetto group? And personally, for me, I'm loving seeing that they're separating, but they're also trying to keep a sense of family at the same time.
Yeah.
But what really intrigued me was bringing up Miguel. And I know, not because of necessarily Yuta, but the fact that Miguel was brought up and he's not even around. And so it makes me just think, what is his stance on things and things like that? And the fact that they also have no idea the identity of who Getu is. And that kind of threw me for a loop because I was like, okay, so how did he get the body? The girls made it seem like they helped. So what did they necessarily help with?
Yeah.
You know, like, so it adds so many more questions to things and you wonder if we'll ever get the answer to them. So I just want to know, what do you guys think in that aspect?
That's a good question.
I thought a lot about this, actually. I mean, so Miguel and Yuta are overseas, right? I mean, they're away because now, like, Miguel is like under Yuta or whatever, you know. I mean, I assume a lot of people now, strength-wise, are under Yuta. But does this, like, does this mean, man, this just feels like we're going to see them since they're being brought up. Like, I feel like Miguel and just the way, like, LaRue's saying, like, man, it just, I don't know. It just how it feels to me. Yeah. He wants to help Suguru become king, the same as Miguel, right? And Miguel, like, left. And I feel like he is legit with the school. Like, that was kind of my question, is like, is he legit with the school, or is he trying to like infiltrate or something? I don't see why he would. I feel like he just literally, since now Geto is gone, he gave up on both the dignity of his death and the ideals / his plan or whatever, which that's what they're fighting about, you know, Nanako and you know, that's basically the tension here is, you know, what's more important, the dignity of Geto's death or his ideals, his plan, what is his future, what he wants, you know, like that's what I was thinking about mostly with that. But yeah, the Miguel thing is just so intriguing because like it just feels like him and Utah are about to jump on the scene to me now. Like
it makes me feel like I've been wrong this whole time talking about he won't show up. Now I'm like, wait a minute, I'm about to have my foot in my fucking mouth.
I thought U2 was going to show up at a couple different points in the series. I think I made a couple predictions on the show, even like when we got the first AirPod, you know what I mean, from Mekamaru. I thought that was I thought you know, because he's dead or whatever, I was like, oh, this is, you know, they literally just mentioned Yuta, you know what I mean, like a couple like I think maybe even that chapter or the chapter before
it was
you know what I mean, and it was when Gojo got sealed, and then boom, we got an AirPod from a dead character, and I'm like, no, this is Buddy with the copy technique, you know what I'm saying, like I was ready for him to be here then. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like now that we're talking about Miguel, I feel like it's just becoming more and more obvious that, and I always think back to that dialogue, you know, where Gojo is like, remember who beat your ass last time? Geto? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do if he comes back? And he's like, oh, and he said whatever he said or whatever. I'm like, there's way too many hints that Yuta will be showing up at some point in this arc. So I'm like really excited for that. As far as the Geto group, the vibes that they kind of gave off with the contention inside of their ranks really was very reminiscent of the Phantom Troop to me, and I feel like a lot of people kind of like felt that on the when I was looking through like reviews online, like right after the chapters came out at like 11:30, you know, like noon and whatnot. I was really happy to see that a lot of people were making that connection, which I felt too, and it's cool that like you get such, because it's so easy inside of like villainous organizations or like antagonist groups where everyone can just be all the same ideology, all gung-ho for the same goal and whatnot. But when you get that contention, it just like adds so much more depth to the storytelling and how we interpret it. You know what I mean? So and we see that all over. I feel like we're seeing that more and more just like in Jump in general. My Hero Academia does that really well, but in Jujutsu Kaisen it really feels reminiscent of Togashi's storytelling, which is why we gas it so much. But whenever we get those moments, it's just like, oh yes,
love it.
Yeah.
Nickums, Eagle, how y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I guess just to go back to the beginning of the chapter here, we do get Megumi, you know, putting the pieces together on who this motherfucker was. But how do y'all feel about Handy Hup Hup
coming back
in the equation, man?
Up randomly.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Face all beat the fuck up. He's missing teeth. His nose is smashed like a fucking piglet.
His face tats are empty. Yeah, his face tats are unfilled.
He's got no more lives. He gets hit in that one more, he's out of here, right? You assume.
Yeah.
And then man, I feel like I should bring this up now, even though this is towards the end. I mean, it's both. It's right now and the end at the same time, where Sukuna jumping out of the top of the fucking thing with Jogo. Like, he has this aerial view and can see now, if this motherfucker's killing Megumi right here, he's not having it. Buddy's done.
Yeah.
Sukuna's jumping down,
getting evaporated.
He's
gonna go down there. He's going to go down there, evaporate Handy Hup Hup, and then blitz back up while Jogo's still in the air and continue to him to work.
Kill him, come back up.
That would be tight.
That'd be tight as
That would be funny as shit, dude. I would love. Dude, and honestly, that is totally a Sukuna style feat. You know what I mean? Like he's mid-air, and we can see that he's like standing on debris. You know what I mean? He's like surfing on debris. So I could totally see him flash stepping off of the debris. This is amazing, Eagle. I could totally see him flash stepping off of the debris getting Handy Hup out of here, going right back to that same piece of debris.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Dude, wow.
Wild.
That would be so crazy.
Fuck yeah, dude.
After, so I have a question for y'all. So like after the Handy Hup bit or whatever, we got Kusakabe Panda or whatever. What do y'all feel about Kusakabe? I feel like he seems like a little. I mean, he's got that like practical cowardice. You know what I mean? Like he's like, I'm not trying to get killed out here. This is my job. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to die tonight. You know what I mean? But big change from all these like very idealistic, like we're just gonna do anything it takes to save Gojo. You know what I mean? Characters.
I love his initial characterization. I feel like characters that are being introduced like this. I mean, like obviously we were expecting another very confident sorcerer here. You know what I mean? But instead we have a very like human one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
very relatable.
Yeah, very relatable. Very his outlook and his it is. You know what I mean? His outlook and his and his thought process is very believable. You know, for someone in the situation because he doesn't have a technique. We already got dialogue on that he doesn't have a technique. So for someone who knows that they don't have a technique, I mean, it kind of like makes sense. He could still be cold. Like he's still with the shits, bro. Like as soon as
the Shinkage shit is cold blooded, right? Like I mean, for hand to hand or whatever, CQC, whatever,
Yeah. I just think it's cool that amidst all of these like very hard boiled, like strong willed, ready to go and die for whatever it is they're fighting for kind of characters that we see in the series, we get this very relatable, sorcerer here that is still, very highly regarded, but like just his outlook and thought process here like really kind of like grounds the situation a little bit more. You get
and it's more depth than just like the characters or in the series. Like everybody can't be fearless. Like everybody can't be like, all right, we're all got to be mentally unhinged to be a jujutsu sorcerer and be like crazy to even pursue this. Well, there's people that I'm sure he's still like. I don't know, like crazy. I don't obviously don't really want to call any of these characters crazy, but like that's what they say. Like you have to obviously. I mean, even in Hunter, we got dialogue, didn't we, about how to be a hunter, you have to be at least a little crazy. Sure. And so another thing about Kusakabe is being that he is using Shinkage style. So did Miwa. And neither of them like adversity. Neither of them like confrontation. They're really very similar characters so far, which is you get to see the parallel because they're using the same ability, or at least obviously we haven't seen what Kusakabe's full ability is, but obviously it's a sword drawing technique using simple domain, right? So
it might not be a simple. It might not be a simple domain. It could.
Might not be.
It might not be. I mean, like it definitely very well could. But I would just say that like a simple domain would be a technique then, right? And we got dialogue that he doesn't have one. So like I feel like this is the stance. Yeah.
I was just gonna say I don't know if this is the stance you want to take if you're planning on waiting somebody out for like a half hour.
What do you mean?
Yo, hamstring is gonna be on fire. Dude.
Oh no, he's about to. He's about to.
Glutes on.
He's very confident in himself in fighting them. He was very confident.
Yeah, and he has the dialogue
all
there.
I'm saying is it could be a blitz attack or something. He might go on the offensive here.
Yeah. He was literally like, this is the level that these people are.
Right.
He's like, I can do this.
And now simple domain doesn't have to be a technique. I guess I'm just like assuming that it would be. And we have dialogue that says
the way it was illustrated, it looks like it.
Well, I mean, like whenever
the wiki says it's not.
Yeah,
the wiki says anybody can use it, and Shinkage style is where simple domain comes from. And if you can use Shinkage style, you can use simple domain. And anybody can use.
It says if you use Shinkage style, you can use simple. You have simple domain.
It's that simple domain is Shinkage style. It's from that. It's from that family or whatever. When you first get it from Kokichi talking about it, you know, like he's talking about, Shinkage style is the like just the origin kind of
down skill type of thing too as well.
Well, we've seen it three times. We've seen it 3 times now, right? So Yui has it, Miwa has it, and whenever they use their Shinkage style, it says simple domain along with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now we have this evening moon drawing technique. And it doesn't say anything about simple domain. That doesn't mean that next chapter it could say simple domain too. But whenever we get the do, you know what I mean, the ability activation, it's always said simple domain, like right there or right after it. Now Miwa's was in a narration box after she activated. After we got like the Shin-Kage style text, so definitely starting next chapter, we could definitely get a simple domain thing. But I guess like originally when I was reading it, I was just like, oh, that would be cool if this was Shin-Kage style without one. And it was just like it was kind of like a shoe situation inside of Hunter x Hunter, where he just charges his like I figured that the swordsmanship was the same, but that he might not have a simple domain, and it was just like charging his sword with Juryoku to fight with it. You know what I mean? So that was my assumption. Yeah.
I think it's same to a degree.
Yeah.
Getting into the spot where Danchou was initially asking us what we thought, this the Geto group or whatever. This LaRue guy is like super interesting to me. Like he
on his bean shit or Franklin.
Right. I wonder, like, do you think so? On page 12 or whatever, he like kind of screams at the group, right, to break him up.
Yeah.
And and so he screams, and the floor is cracking. The floor is cracking, and then there's this like buzzing in the air. You know what I mean? Like there's this bizz sound effects or whatever. Yeah. Do you think that he's using like a sonic ability? Like he has kind of the same family as what's his name, who can like speak?
Oh, Inumaki.
Inumaki, like is he in like that family where like he's using audio like sound waves to like do shit? Or is this his cracking like his just sheer amount of Juryoku? You know what I mean?
Wow.
Or really until we get an explanation. Really.
Right. What would be cooler though? Like
doesn't Inumaki have white hair?
Yeah.
Yes.
And this guy's got white hair. You know what I mean? Like they could be like related somehow.
Wow. That would be fucking crazy. I don't know what would be tighter if he was yelling and like just the raw Juryoku output of the energy in his voice was cracking everything, and he has a completely different technique, or if his technique is actually just like Black Bolt but like super toned down. You know what I mean? Wow.
Zebra.
Yeah.
So he's super interesting to me for sure.
Yeah. And being the level-headed part of the group is really awesome too. Seeing that, I didn't expect that from him from the prequel.
Yeah.
Right.
Like like I didn't see that from his character. So seeing it now, you're kind of like, oh, okay, you're like that. It was nice characterization.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, man. I feel like this chapter like went really fast, even though it was like all dialogue.
A lot.
Yeah, but I mean like
it was a very fast chapter to me for sure.
Yeah. But go ahead.
I just it makes me wonder, why haven't we gotten an explanation for these girls' ability yet?
Yeah.
I know, this is now we're seeing the phone again.
The phone again.
With no exposition. With no exposition, and not seeing directly in the fucking manga what the ability does. Bro, just like we were talking about last fucking week, dude.
Yeah.
Like, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago actually. But
what I find super interesting about this is like in this flashback or whatever, when she uses the phone, like she's actually not putting any of her fingers on the phone. Yeah. Right? She's holding it in her palms, like a double palm hold or whatever. And like I kind of assumed that to use her ability, she would have to hit the take photo button. Yeah. Or hit the sides of the phone, like the buttons, like the volume or the lock button to click the phone, like picture click. You know what I mean? Like, but it almost looks like she doesn't even need to do that at all. So now. Like the things we were talking about before, we're like, oh, she's probably not using her ability, her finger's not on the button or whatever, so she's probably just dead. Like now, I feel like that's out the window. Yeah. And I think again, definitely. Seeing this, she's probably alive. You know what I mean? Like, why would you show this ability again for a dead character that you're never gonna get more from? Like, she's probably alive.
Yes, and it goes back into what Eagle was saying like 2 weeks ago about how like we're gonna see like the next time we see Geto, he might be in like a situation where like he's like has an advantageous position against M.A.N.G.A or whoever it is he's fighting against, or maybe even he defeats M.A.N.G.A and goes on to a fight later on in the arc. But like the situation that's going to like actually provide the detriment that helps take him down is going to be like the exposition of this ability coming back in a post-mortem effect to like wound him in some kind of way, because their like will to like with their love for Geto, their revenge against Brain, you know what I mean, is going to like bring that Juryoku back and affect it with this phone, dude, and that's gonna be so sick, bro.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Shouts out
her just
Maxie.
willpower and determination just really feel like, it just that she, I mean, that she wants to fulfill the will of Geto, as well as she wants both, right? Like she wants everything. Like she wants to preserve his body and not let his, legacy be tainted any more than it already is, of course. But I mean she's still down for like the main plan. Yeah, like she's trying to get both, really, like, because if after she would fix, if she does get to, actually save Geto's body, and which obviously she's not, but maybe she'll play a part of it, like Eagle's saying, like, like she can, I don't know, like in a digital space somehow, come in affect. Geto's fight later.
Paisley Park. Any JoJo readers? Paisley Park.
Yeah. Wow. Is that the hearts?
But even the visuals, in these panels of her face and shit, the way they're just the heavy lining and shit, like she looks serious in a different kind of way, really determined.
Yeah. And I love the argument. Oh, go ahead, Kiko.
Well, I was just saying, like, just kind of piggybacking off it, every time you've seen her, she has an incredible amount of resolve, clearly fighting battles against people that are her better. You would assume every one of these people are her better, other than obviously her sister. But these other three, you would be like, she probably wouldn't stand a chance, against a lot of the people that she has brandished her phone on now.
But she still stands up.
Yeah. She's pulling the heat out every rip, and like she's not going down. And that's what I'm saying. Like somebody like this, it's so hard to see them out of the story after showing the ability yet again. Like Nickums was saying, like it's just really hard to see her not somewhere in this story in the future.
Right. And going into the argument that they're even having here, right? Because like we know that they're divided down the middle, where you have the twins that are saying we want to get Geto's body back, we want this to be about Geto, and then you have the new characters here that are on the team that are saying fuck Geto's body, you know what I'm saying? Like it's about his will. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's about like his ideals that we want to bring to fruition. You know what I'm saying? And then you got LaRue saying like neither of you are wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys are all right here in this situation, but like I don't want my family fighting each other if there's no clear side that makes the most sense to take. Like you guys need to just come together. We're going to break bread again one day. You guys go your separate ways for a little bit. But I just think it's really cool how you can split the ideology of antagonists in the middle like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And have it be logical, even though we know that these are people that we want to take down eventually. You know what I mean? Right. It brings up relatability. It brings like if I at any point like feel like I'm rooting for an antagonist group, then I feel like you're doing an incredible job writing them. So it's yet another
like very Togashi style of writing villains, where each villain has their own motivations, their own plans and schemes and everything. And like here's just another example of just like that high quality level of writing for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I got a question for you guys. I was confused on this. Page 8 in the bottom where Kusakabe is like whispering to Panda, like, Panda, there are 3 behind us, probably more hiding. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what? I mean, because obviously we see 2 in front of you, so you're not talking about the 2 in front of you. You're talking about 3 more behind you, probably more.
Yeah. So
I kind of took that as
I thought Panda was saying the second one. Either way, though, continue.
But the thing is, I kind of took it 2 ways. I took it as either he was being an extra coward and was thinking there's probably more than behind them. It was just playing it cautious. It was being like himself still, because he's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. So like I'm thinking he's kind of just like doing his thing, or he sends really 3 more behind them.
Right.
And it kind of has me like, who are the other 3?
Right.
And what are they doing? And it's already 11:01 p.m. You get what I'm saying? So like, for me, I'm thinking if anything, we're gonna get another hour at the most out of Shibuya, at the literal most. So it's like, I don't know.
Are we introducing more new characters here? And if that's so like when he says Panda, he says there's 3 more behind us. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, they've confronted these 2 in front of them. Obviously, there's malice pointed at them. You can tell that there is a very, negative, curse energy output aimed at them. And they can also feel malicious intent behind them as well. And that's where he's noticing these 3 bodies, because this is like a multiple pronged attack that they could be experiencing here. Or this could just be like right on time, stars align, extra curses are now coming out of the woodwork to attack them that are completely not related to the Gato people at all. And this is just coincidentally, these 2 are approaching us from this side. These other 3 unrelated characters are approaching us from this side at the same time. And they could be other sorcerers, or they just could be curses. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he said Toge or Inumaki cleared them.
Yeah.
He
didn't clear them. He froze them. He said, "Don't move," and everybody stopped. And they can't move. They're all frozen.
That's right. So then these could be the ones that have like the strong enough will to like break out of that first, or like maybe even just like it could be something like that, and then they continued their, their path or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that it'll be curses and not more sorcerers. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's just more of the team. More of this Gato team, you know what I mean? Like it's just too coincidental to me. Like and one, I think to highlight what Eagle was saying, like I'm pretty sure Panda is saying that there's more people around.
Because but he can smell. At first, I thought that was right too. But his sense of smell, though.
Yeah, we already got dialogue that like he has extra sensory abilities, you know what I mean? And Kusagabe's relying on that. And when he says Panda,
that's right.
It's Panda period, not Panda comma. So he's saying Panda, like AKA Panda. Tell me what's going on. And then Panda, you can see Panda. He's like, he got his arm up, he's whispering, like there's probably a few behind us, or probably more, or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's Panda. And I just feel like the situation.
It is Panda.
They're looking at these 2 people they don't know. Give me a situation. Oh yeah, there's more than these 2.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So AKA the team, more of this team.
If it is the team, then like we only had 5 in the flashback. 2 of them are dead, right? So it's there now. There's just LaRue left, a part of the Gato team. At least that we see here. There could be other members of the Gato team that we.
I think there's maybe more.
About.
Yeah.
Or these 2 girls flash back to a save point like Eagle was talking about.
Sure.
And came back to like this situation. X amount of time ago, close by them, and they're alive and well, and they're pulling up with LaRue right now.
Right.
Now that you mentioned that, she has to have more than one phone, bro.
Yeah, wow.
Burner, bro. Like
she got a burner.
She's got a burner.
Yeah.
I got 2 phones.
Over the plug, over the low.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy though. Thinking about the save point ability it's just really cool because like in UQ holder. Kiri can do that. Like she set save points and will.
Okay.
She set save points for herself. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like, but that's just really reminiscent of that. Like if that's that is a very good ability for somebody to have. I feel like there would have to be a lot of conditions for that though.
For sure.
You can't.
It's super powerful. Oh, it's really.
Anytime you get wiped to go back to a save point is pretty sick.
But you have to think. What are the stipulations to be able to take a picture of somebody and affect them though? Like there has to already be something there. So for you to think that she could add more, it has to be clockwork for probably,
Yeah, and it could be the caveat is just that they're not physically relevant. You know what I mean? Like they're just not wildly capable in like a hand-to-hand situation or like a raw strength situation. You know what I mean? They literally just have that ability and that's it. So I mean, if that was the case, and especially if it's not offensive, I mean, obviously she pointed at Sukuna and said die, so she has to have an ultimate. You know what I mean? But I mean, if there's not a regular offensive ability besides the ultimate, and it's just save point and then ult, I could totally see the caveat just being them not being a very like physically opposing. Situation.
Right.
Yeah.
So something Danchou you brought up really made me think about something. So you're right. It's 11:01 p.m. You know what I mean? And like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, isn't it Halloween?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, isn't that like really important? Like that the curses needed to be Halloween to have that like kind of like witching hour boost in power.
Yeah, maybe.
Isn't that like why they're doing it right now? Isn't that why they're doing it today?
I don't think we ever got any specific dialogue that says that the day affects anything on like an energy level.
Maybe it's just like there's a lot of people in Shibuya.
Maybe it's just
for curses.
And it could be exactly what you're talking about, Nick. It could just be this is the day that they decided to do it. But I don't think that we have specific dialogue that states because it's this day that anyone is getting any kind of boost.
But
that is a good point. You know what I mean? Like, and Danchou was talking about how we got an hour left max, you know what I mean, because it's 11,
right?
You know what I mean, and so like that kind of does imply that there is a timer in some regard for the antagonist group,
right,
to complete this goal in the time, because this started at what, 7 p.m. You know
something like that, 7:30,
7 or 7:30, because you put the screenshot in the group chat earlier that Gojo arrived on the scene at 8:31.
Right.
Yep.
I think it was it to like confuse Gojo initially, because I remember it being a thing when he came into the train station that so many people were in costumes it was hard for him to find Mahito and shit. Wasn't that a thing?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I think
there were a gang of people in costumes. We had a Luffy. That's right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Sure. Okay.
You're right, Eagle.
Wow,
and it also could be that like there's just a lot of people in Shibuya on Halloween, and that helps the curse side because more people to protect, you know, on the good guy side.
And transfigured humans.
Sure.
Yeah. And more transfigured humans.
More to transmogrify.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that word. Transmogrify.
Well, good shit.
Fuck yeah.
That's true.
Hell yeah. Well, I think that's about it.
Yeah,
go ahead. I can't wait for Panda to go crazy, man.
Dude, yes. I've
been waiting.
Yeah.
Dude,
Eagle says that every week, I feel like.
Swear to God.
Dude,
one thing I would want to mention about Panda, because I don't know why this slipped my mind, but where's Mahito?
Yeah, where is Mahito?
And so my thing is what if we got a Panda Mahito confrontation? And the reason why I want this is because Panda has 3 hearts, which allows him to change his body.
Right.
So it makes me want Mahito to meet him and be interested in his being a cursed corpse and him being able to change the way his body shape is based on those hearts. Wow. And I would love for Mahito to want to play with that. And really affect Panda and how he think about it, bro. Right. You gotta think, and it could even come into a way of Panda even leveling up to a degree if he survives the confrontation, if he discovers a new way to play with this.
Dude, imagine if Mahito reshapes his body around the hearts and takes control of Panda and turns him into like some kind of super crazy fucking monster that we've never seen outside of what the 3 hearts shape his body into, like on their own. He's like, oh,
I got one too.
Wow. Turns Panda into an enemy.
What if he splits Panda into 3 entities that are all go crazy?
Oh, we get 3 different pandas?
Yeah, all going crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Bro, the Panda triplets moving forward, like after the arc is over and he's like back on our side or whatever, and he's just 3 characters now. Wait a minute.
We never saw the third form.
We never saw the third form. We only saw Gorilla and Panda.
Yeah.
What do you guys think his other form is, or did he say what it was?
Snake Man.
They did. It was a snake. What, didn't they? No, they said it was.
He kind of implied that was the one that was going to go the craziest.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? It was a sister, wasn't it? Wasn't the sister the one that went out first?
Yeah, what would it be?
I forgot what he said it was.
Because he's already Panda, then Gorilla. You want to think that it's like going to stay inside of like that.
The animal kingdom?
Yeah.
The hulky animal
bear
too,
yeah,
maybe?
yeah. You know what I mean? You'd think it would stay inside of that like 4 arms.
Some type of weird kangaroo.
Mammalian, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Polar bear, tiger.
Polar bear's too close. Tiger, it doesn't have like opposable thumbs really, or wait, pandas do. They have thumbs. They're just not opposable, but they have like claws. You know what I mean? Like they can walk on 2 feet. You know, like
I don't know. I'm excited to see it. Whatever it is.
I'm excited to see it too. But I feel like we're gonna see whatever that form is, and we're gonna be like, duh. It's got to be that. And I can't think of what the fuck it is, dude. God damn.
Yeah.
Short face bear. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm good though.
Crazy. All right.
Me too.
Well then, alrighty. Well, with that, I think we can go ahead and get right into chapter 77 of Chainsaw Man. Ring, ring, ring.
Woohoo! Jeez.
Bruh.
Man,
we killed
right
the game
away.
yet again.
Yeah, again, we did.
Yeah,
but I just want to say right
it.
away, first off, before we go like too crazy talking about everything, I just want to say that Fujimoto really just killed the suspense at the beginning of this, like warming up, building up, answering the door.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just, I was very on edge.
Yeah.
Reading these first 5-6 pages.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you're just like, are we opening this fucking door? what the hell, man? And like, I could just hear an old ass fucking 90s phone ringing too, and I'm so mad about it too. I'm like, oh, shut this fucking phone up, man.
This is definitely a chapter where, like, I think most people, when you read manga, you kind of like skip the sound effects, right? Like, you're not like really saying them in your head, but like if you look at this chapter, like all these pages up to for like pages and pages until page 6, it's like
ding dong, and then ring,
and the sound effects are like over the transitional like gaps in between panels.
So it's meant to be so aggravating. It's meant to be so like in your face, like suspense, like you're saying, Kiko, like, oh, just such great.
And then in the anime, people are gonna shit their pants waiting for this damn door to open up.
And then like the minute to skip a little ahead, the minute power says like, hey, like that's you, right, Aki? Silence. No more ringing of the bell. It's like, oh geez,
man.
Yes. Oh my god, so crazy. But yeah, I know I said in chat that I thought Aki was a hybrid, but he's not. He's definitely a fiend. I'm sure of it now. Just looking at it more and more. Like I
have evidence for that too, for sure.
You know, some fiends, and it's not all, but some keep a lot more of their corpse, their host's personality than others. Like some don't, where you know, like Beam, it's like you didn't think Beam really kept any of, you just was like a, I don't know, kind of like a almost weird, like an infant basically. You know, and
Violence,
like
Violence was like basically a human being, like
and that's because, and that's great that you bring up Violence, because that's another reason. Violence is the key reason I feel like I can, other than what Aki looks like, because like, so okay, just first off, Aki's arm that was gone is the one that's the gun. You know, the arm that's gone is what was replaced, and and I thought like the reason why I thought hybrid too is because the head and just your whole hybrid form can be partially transformed, where it's like Aki is a brand new hybrid, I thought originally, where it's like, okay, so maybe his head just isn't fully into like a mask kind of, because they all have like their whole head transformed
with the teeth,
and they get
the sharp teeth,
and they get the teeth.
Yep, exactly. And so I thought like, okay, maybe this is just like one of these times where you saw Denji where it's like the chainsaw's only a little bit out of his head, you know, and he doesn't whatever, you know, have full power yet, or what, you know, whatever.
We still could get that once the fight continues. We could see him come into a full hybrid form with the teeth and whatnot.
We could.
When we get like the climactic part of the fight.
I do think that there's a
lot of evidence supporting
the fiend.
Go ahead. I think we're gonna say the same thing, but go ahead.
But like, Makima can't control a hybrid.
That's right.
And so like, so for the record, like, I'm sure you're gonna say this too, Keiko, but like when Makima's talking on the phone, it's like, oh yeah, the Gun Devil appeared, we couldn't beat it. It took over a dead body and got away. Bullshit. Makima gave it Aki.
Otherwise, why say it took over a dead body when you know it's Aki?
Well, and just
why wouldn't you tell him that?
So just the little thing I wanted to throw in here, why the Violence Devil is a very good source of just evidence for this. She used Arai. Remember, that was Kobeni's boy Arai to make Violence Devil, and we knew that after the mask was removed for sure. And Arai was a pacifist and did not want to fight at all, and he kept his personality through that. And that's why I was like, Makima has been using her ability to create her whole special division. This is what she's been doing, and this is just par for the course with her. This is a new piece on the chessboard for her. Obviously she's lying to Denji.
And so like in this situation, there's no way Makima would let a hybrid happen, because she can't control hybrids in the same way that she can control fiends. And I think it's very obvious that she made a contract with Aki. She had the Gun Devil fuse with Aki into a fiend. Why? So she can control the Gun Devil. She definitely has control, probably, over the human aspect of the Gun Fiend. You know what I mean? And so like, ooh,
so
crazy.
Like, so that makes me wonder, because Makima was present when Denji became a hybrid. If this is, wasn't she? She was right there.
Kind of. She was like down the street. I feel like she was late and didn't get there in time to steal Pochita before Pochita did that. It feels like she was trying to get there and intervene before that happened between Denji and Pochita. But I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, because like if this is like par for the course for her, then wouldn't she have made sure that Denji became a fiend? You know what I'm saying? In a way that she would have been able. Yeah,
because there's no way she's just going to be late. Makima's
yeah, exactly,
not late anywhere.
exactly
right. So she intentionally let Denji and Pochita fuse
to become a hybrid that she couldn't control, but she can still control her.
But that's the thing.
Oh, because he likes her. Yeah, because he likes her.
Well, more than that, there's more than just liking there. She's playing the long game, obviously, on his whole psyche, and all of these puzzle pieces around him have been fit intentionally to push his buttons whatever direction Makima wants to push him, which isn't using her ability to control him, but using her influence and her, abilities on other people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like indirectly using her ability on Denji since she can't directly use it on him.
Right. Plus, she probably knows that the hybrid forms are going to be stronger, than the fiend forms. So she probably wanted to let the chainsaw situation become a hybrid situation because she knew that she had other ways to control him outside of her regular ability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and the snowball scene is just Makima using Genjutsu on Aki because when he throws the snowball, and you see the whole shit get blown. That's just her. That's the way she controls. That's the way she uses her ability on people, and that's how you also know that it's a fiend. And that, I mean, aside from the control, just the fact that Aki is not fully there. He's only partially there. If he was fully there, he would be a hybrid, but he's not fully there. You know, Denji didn't lose any bit of himself. It's a mutual relationship, I guess. Him and Pochita. You know, it's not a parasite situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So in terms of Makima doing genjutsu on Aki or whatever, I just thought something funny on page 7. You got the cat just looking, at the door or whatever. It's that's Makima looking through the cat's eyes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
There's just this cat, just why have this panel? There's just this cat looking. You know what I mean? That's Makima
because it's familiar. Because it's familiar and it is Aki, and the cat recognizes it as Aki and didn't run away and wasn't scared. That's the way I took it.
Do you think it's Makima looking through his eyes, spying?
Yeah, Makima just seeing the situation.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, her, that cat's eyes have always been. Makima has been, obviously watching them the entire time through.
And we've said that before.
Forever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. How do you feel, Danchou? How do you feel about this chapter?
Aki was my favorite character.
Yeah, I know, right?
Me too.
And he was my favorite character only just, simply because he was just I feel like he was an embodiment of basically what the Water Chainsaw Man is, other than Denji. I feel like each of the characters individually do share that in their way. But Denji and Aki, I felt like were two separate sides of the same coin. In the fashion of Denji's this wild, doesn't really have an idea where he's going. He's just following, being manipulated, as we just were discussing.
Yeah.
But Aki is someone who, even though was being manipulated as well, he still felt like he had a sense of direction.
Yeah.
And he felt like that he was
doing his thing. He was his.
He had a very clear goal in mind. He knew how to get there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even with all of those factors against him, he was like, I'm going to do my thing, which made me appreciate him. But even seeing his character go through this makes me appreciate him more, because I feel like Makima knew the character she had to grab. She knew she had to get Aki. She knew she had to get this character that was pivotal, that would affect Denji, and that's why she's calling him, telling him, just fight, no thinking. Don't even think. Just go at it, because she wants to try to take away, I think, his emotions and his connections to things slowly.
Yeah.
And so it makes the story so compelling for me. I love it.
Yes.
I'm glad,
dude, now that you mention it, it's like I'm sure that we've talked about it before, but Denji and Aki really are polar opposite kinds of characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they all are linked to Makima. And now we're finding out a little bit more why. Aki is also in love with Makima, whereas Denji obviously isn't controlled because he's a hybrid, but he's still team Makima because he wants to smash or whatever. And Aki, you know what I'm saying? And he wasn't she's the control devil, you know what I mean? So it's Aki has no reason to, when you go back to the beginning of the series and they have that first little scuffle where Denji knees him in the dick or some shit, and because he's I love Makima, no, I love Makima. He's you think you're gonna come in here and take the girl I like, you know what I'm saying? They had that first initial little scuffle, and it's was that control too? It obviously had to have been, you know what I mean? Exactly. But then now, as the more skeptical of Makima Aki has been shown to become over the series, and then we get that scene on the beach where I think actually the story rehashes his love for Makima, because doesn't Angel ask him on the beach like, you like her,
you like her, don't
and he's
you?
like, yeah, I do. So we get that reiterated. I completely forgot that he liked Makima because he's been so shifty-eyed towards her like over the course of his fucking series, you know what I mean? But then like
he's so business that you forget that he has like, these like subtle like character traits or whatever.
Absolutely. And it's like, but it's just so cool, like talking about it now, that it's like these polar opposite characters that do well to play off of each other, have like similar, you know, interests inside of love for Makima, completely different directions for their characters otherwise. They're homeboys, you know what I'm saying? They've grown together, they love each other, you know what I'm saying? But like,
they do.
There's just so many different, like the web goes out and branches out in so many different ways while still connecting them all into like major points, and it's just so cool how Fujimoto can do that inside of a story that we thought was just going to be a fucking slasher film. That's so fucking crazy how he's doing so much, so many things, mind-blowing things in this series, and I feel like it's ending. And I'm sad about it.
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
Yeah.
So do y'all think so like, let's skip to the end.
Yeah.
So like the very end, the very last page. You know what I mean? Like, so the scuffle has started. The you know, gun fiend has, you know, blown Denji in half, and now, you know, and you get this amazing panel of Aki as the gun fiend, you know, attacking them, and Denji protecting Power and stuff, and Power in this chapter is very like kind of
weak.
Weak, but like kind of timid. Like this is Aki. This is our friend Aki. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the gun fiend. This is Aki. And so when the future devil says like, you, Aki, and Power are going to be killed by Denji, like, I can see it happening. I can see Power trying to stop Denji from attacking Aki.
No!
Right. And like, you know, you're not going to get in my way.
Told him, don't think, just fight.
Or it's an accident. Or it's an accident because he's not thinking. He's not thinking. He's listening to Makima, and he just sends a fucking like chainsaw lariat, and then Power's like, no.
Yeah. I still think Makima's going to control Power too, and have her attack Denji as well.
And then he has to kill them because
just so we like reiterate, you know, like, Makima's true goal is Denji, right? This whole show has been about the gun devil, but the gun devil is a power. It's a piece on the board that she wants to control. It's a means to an end. But her goal is Pochita. Her goal is the chainsaw devil. And so like, we might very well quickly see just everyone turning on Denji from his own team as Makima like tells him, okay, it's time. This is the time right now. Dude, and that's going to be like the end of the story, right?
The scene where Denji, where we get the tried and true official reveal that Makima is, where Denji realizes everything that Makima has been doing the entire series, is going to be one of the most emotional, one of the heaviest, one of the craziest chapters in Shonen Jump in a long time, bro. Like, there is so much that has happened in this less than 177 chapters.
Yeah.
Wild.
Hell yeah.
The most story in the least amount of time I've ever read in my life.
When Denji, when it clicks for Denji, like, it's gonna be like Gon and Pitou. Like, it's literally going to be like, it's going to be like, you aren't gonna heal Kite. Like, it's gonna be like that scene in Chainsaw Man, and it's gonna hit just as hard with 90 chapters, like as that did in like 250.
Right.
280. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah, I got one more thing I want to talk about here. When you see on page 11, you got Aki, the upper left panel. You
on page
see the gun barrel. 11.
Page 11.
You see the gun barrels coming from the right eye. I mean, it looks more so like it's coming from the right side of his head. Right?
Yeah.
But then
the future devil was in the right eye.
Yeah, that's right.
On the bottom of the page, it does look like that. Like it's
centered.
Maybe
like it's centered. Yeah.
Yeah, like it looks like it's above his eyes. On the bottom,
above his eyes.
Right?
Well, that's why I was kind of saying the right side, because it is a little bit above the eyes, but the eyes are gone. Like, both of his eyes are gone. They've been like fused into part of you know, like, so
the gun.
It's like an all-for-one situation where it's like
fucking potato face McJohnson out here. but
I do like that. That's a good call out. That like the future devil is in one of those eyes, and it's the right eye or whatever. Right? I think.
It
was in the right eye, and I don't know if that's the case, because maybe it's like this. For this to work, it had to override the future devil and the contract, and so like that's why it took the right eye. Or I mean, you never know. There could always be something with like right eye being dominant eye. You know, like when you're like learning to shoot a gun.
Oh,
like
for guns,
do the dominant eye. Like if you pull,
the test,
right. So I don't know. It could be something like that. But
are you saying that like right now the gun fiend does not have the future devil ability?
I'm saying it's possible.
It would still have to. Like, do we have any information that says that, like, if you become a fiend contract, that you expel any other contracts you had beforehand?
But like, if you die, don't you lose your contract? I mean, like for your user, I mean, like Makima could use it with her ability, but like, does the dead body have the ability anymore? I kind of feel like
that's a really good question. Yeah,
I feel like it doesn't. It doesn't, but I don't know. I really don't feel like he has the future devil, and I was kind of more so thinking like this overrode the contracts, you know, than them being dispelled by the end of the death. But I mean, hey, either way, I mean, being dispelled by the end of the death, and I was basically saying he does not have cursed devil contract or future devil contract anymore. Yeah.
Eagle, man.
So I was a little confused on the last panel here. Did Aki like shoulder dip the fucking nose chainsaw, or like what the fuck? Because it looks like it's going right into his face.
Let me go.
Yeah, but I don't think it's moving yet though.
Oh, true. Well, so he just like.
Yeah. He might have like, it might be just like touching.
I think it's going into like a shoulder on the offside of the face.
So he shoulder dipped it, kind of like I said.
But it's not like yet, you know.
Yeah. I mean, because he doesn't want to.
Right.
You can see the shadow on the chainsaw if you look closely at his chin, so you can see the
right. Yeah. So
So. But the sound effect is like two metal objects, you know, smashing together. Grick, you know. Like,
grick. Yep.
You know, like so. There, it's like a stalemate kind of thing.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and this panel of Danchou with his fucking intestines all over the place was like,
jeez.
You see him shot in half. You see him shot in half. Right?
So when does he recoup? Because in the last panel, he's all together again.
Yeah, he's doing it right there. That's him basically forming back together right there. The intestines going,
or like some kind of movement, or like.
Look in the top. Look in the page 16 top left panel. He literally is pulling the chain.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm tweaking. He's not Chainsaw Man
is
yet.
His chainsaw.
And then he regenerates. Okay, so he jumped. Like, I'm just thinking that this scene is moving so fast.
Oh, it's very fast.
It's like okay, so like
he did pull the chain.
He did pull the chain, and then he's back together again. It's just like, you know, you think about like how like M.A.N.G.A would handle like a scene like that, and like you would see the bubbling of the regeneration. You know what I'm saying? Like you would get at least one panel where, you know, but he's just back together.
He's just, but it's pull my shit,
and now I'm a guy again.
After image, under protecting power.
That's fine. That's fine.
Love it.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it for me.
Yes.
Alrighty, well, with that, I think we can go ahead and move right into chapter 23 of Mashle, Magic and Muscles, Mash Van Dead and the Wolves of Magic.
This chapter was amazing.
Super dope.
Yeah, we get another appearance from the headmaster here, and we're meeting this dude who apparently calling the shots for him.
Yeah. So this is the government, the Bureau of Magic, right?
I knew here we were. I was like, Kiko's gonna love this.
So I already. Oh yeah, go for it, Kiko.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, I was gonna say, like, I definitely have some thoughts about like this scene or whatever with this ward. What is this guy, like a warden or something? But like anyway. Whatever he's saying, you know, like 6 death row inmates have escaped, and you know they are who was assisting them, innocent 0, you know, dun dun dun, who knows who this is or whatever. But I have like, I'm wondering, why are these people in prison? You know what I mean? Like in this society, definitely one thing we've seen of who is put in prison is people without magic. Could innocent 0 be a non-magic user? Could any of the 6 inmates be non-magic users? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think innocent 0 is the guy with the mask who's fighting Mash right now.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's great.
He's innocent. He has 0 mana. You know, like he went to prison maybe for it. I don't know, but it feels like he's part of M.A.N.G.A Lupus though at the same time. So it's like, did he escape from prison and join M.A.N.G.A Lupus, or did he help people escape from the prison while in M.A.N.G.A Lupus? And they know he's like in school, and like this is. Obviously a big fucking deal that this guy has even been allowed. If this guy's in the school, like legitly, they know he doesn't have magic, right? I assume that. Yeah.
So okay, so then now that's making me think. Okay, so if it is like Kiko said, and he is innocent 0, and he is in M.A.N.G.A Lupus, and he broke out.
No, he didn't break. Innocent 0 didn't break out of prison. Innocent 0 helped people break out of prison.
That's what I was literally just going to say. Right?
Cool.
So if it is like what Kiko said, and Innocent 0 is in M.A.N.G.A Lupus, and he broke out the rest of the inmates, did he break them out because they all don't have any magic, and they're all not supposed to be
that's
there?
what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. So like,
is this gonna be like the Finalis, faction from like M.A.N.G.A, just straight the physical squad? There's gonna be a fucking serious physical squad within the Mashle universe. That'd be pretty sick. But
that'd be tight.
Yeah,
that'd be so sick.
That would be sick.
Yes.
I think I had the wrong impression. I was thinking that the 6 that escaped were the ones they were running into. Was I?
Oh, I mean, I guess we don't know the timeline. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
so M.A.N.G.A Lupus is the death row convicts.
But I feel like all these M.A.N.G.A Lupus are students.
Yeah,
like, I feel like
students.
They are students. Yeah.
They've been around.
Or could they not be students? Could they be in what's their fucking house name again? I forgot what their house name is. Whatever. Could they be in
Slytherin?
Lang. Yeah, sure. Slytherin. Good enough.
Maybe it's Slytherin. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So we're in the Slytherin house here, and they're like, Snape. He's not in the school, or more so than like somebody who's actually like graduated from the school, and they have, higher ups that dictate shit that aren't actually students. Like maybe every dorm has that, that these people have been able to, not infiltrate, but just like assimilate or be like,
you use the school as a hideout,
right?
Yeah,
and it would make more sense if we had ever seen these kids just walking around the school in common areas,
right?
Because it's like you could, they definitely could. Like, we only see them in these concentrated situations where there's no officials around. You know what I mean? So like, they definitely could be not students that are dressed as students. For whatever reason that may be, but like,
Danchou, that's a really interesting
I thought that's how I took it.
Yeah.
I think I got the most intriguing vibe from these two. Dote and what the hell is what the fuck is this dude's name? Ames,
Finn.
Finn, Dote and Finn, the ones that they're facing. This dude with the witch hat here, the warlock hat, is giving me some cool vibes, and I feel like with the aesthetic of his staff, I'm almost getting some like necromancer vibes.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely.
So that could be a cool type of magic to get here.
Yes, bro. I just need to see Finn's magic.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm so excited to see finally.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one I'm looking out for of this bad team is the person who uses their magic on page 8. Like this, like ram, like horns, and like
the
art is
art on that page is so good.
Yeah.
So sick.
Two-line mash.
It's like a Baphomet, like a fucking
Baphomet.
Ifrit.
Yeah.
Ifrit too. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. So I had a question. Like, is this mana malice or is this a spell? What do you think?
Right.
Is this,
that's another question.
Like, is this going to be, killing intent, whatever you want to call it?
He turns around and it's gone.
Yeah.
So that almost tells me that it is mana malice.
Yeah.
Mana malice. Yeah.
I like that. Mana malice. Ooh. Rolls right off the tongue. Alliterations, I love those.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, and I'll just say right now, is my man Lance Crown's a G. He's about to wipe the floor with this fuck. How dare you? How dare you say this shit to my man? He's about to fuck you up, and I can't wait.
Wait a minute though, because the magic that sucked them into the ground is one of theirs.
Yeah, presumably. Yeah.
So like, it's
not any of the ones that are fighting because they're all like, oh, I got this guy. So they didn't determine who got. They didn't pick their opponents.
But it still could be one. It still could be no, because the one that's. Oh wait.
Well,
yeah,
definitely.
One, yeah,
the one with the Man of Malice, he did not do it, and the one with
the twins or whatever.
Yeah, the twins. They didn't
duo.
Oh yeah,
they did say
yeah.
They did.
Oh, we get these two.
Yeah, we get the two. You know, the duo single liners, easy peasy. You know.
Yep.
Okay.
And if you presume that the masked fellow has no magic, then he didn't do it either, or whatever.
Yeah.
I do agree that's a third party has. I mean, it's obviously a bad guy, but like someone else did the mud magic.
Ooh, man.
Sure, yeah.
You got more extra long fingers. How do you feel about that, Eagle?
Well, it's pretty cool. It's fun.
Hey, I just tell you, you don't want Shigan from anybody in this story.
No choice at the end of the day.
Wow.
Brett.
You're stabbing two people with one Shigan in this story, bro.
Yeah.
Shish kebab, Shigan.
Yeah.
Fucking Star Platinum, long finger move, you know.
Right.
Oh my god, the comedy in this chapter is so funny. My creep, someone save my baby.
Someone save my baby.
I actually brought my wife over here for that. I'm like, hey, just check this out. This shit's hilarious. And she thought it was fucking. Oh yeah, that's how I would be too. You know, like don't fuck with my food.
I like towards the beginning, like Dote, like the explosions have cleared, and this pretty boy, he's doing like the like, you know, hitting his
yeah.
And Dote's like, wow, he's being a pretty boy even in defeat.
Yeah.
I respect this man. I respect this man.
You even lost pretty.
Yeah.
Right.
I like Dote. I just like
Dote is my guy.
Dote's great.
Dote's my favorite right now.
Like I like all the characters. I mean, you're not really supposed to like Finn yet, but like the thing about Finn that's now like I don't know, just kind of standing out to me is that he doesn't have pupils. You know, like everybody else has pupils and he doesn't. You know,
he's got the Bakugan.
And so.
Yeah, it is like
other than that
or something.
Well, and other than that girl, other than the girl of the twins, they both don't have them. And I mean, I don't know what that could mean. Maybe that means nothing. But it's like
it might be art style, but it might be important, right?
But if you look at every single panel, Finn never, ever, ever has pupils, ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Which could like, you know, kind of solidify that him having lightning magic, like, you know, like I always thought of like
Raiden.
You know, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
when you look in his eyes and there's nothing there, it's just electricity in his eyes. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly right, bro.
Like Raiden. Let's go.
That's cool.
Yeah. Nick, I swear to God, you finish like half the things I say. You just always know what I'm trying to say. Like,
I love it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wonder how the Spice about to go with them too.
I just love that
At the
it's like a
end.
tried and true
Right.
like shonen arc.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that like ever since we mentioned it, like with the first chapter that we started covering this series, I've been saying like we can tell that it's moving away from that like gaggier atmosphere and like going, and now it's still going to maintain its comedic like presence.
Yes.
But it's you could tell that it's becoming a more serious story, but can still be funny, and that's like exactly where I wanted this series to go.
Exactly.
From an analytical
Deadass.
standpoint, if we're going to cover it.
Deadass.
You know what I mean? And I'm just so happy that like it's balancing out and it's getting so fucking cool, dude.
And doesn't it just feel like right at home, like right in the middle of our lineup to kind of break up? It's like, okay, it's still serious. We still got a lot of analysis to do, but we also it's almost like you get like half a chapter of a break almost for just like comedy, like let's just you know, like you know, have a good time kind of shit. So
and
like,
that's good for this series on our. That's good for this series on our channel because there's some episodes where we be the whole fucking episode like it's bro.
That's funny.
It's true.
The paneling on this last page, man.
Oh my god, yes,
so
squad
fucking
shit,
good.
gang shit, yes, bro.
I mean, just the outlines of the panels.
Oh
Just the art there is just incredible.
They're dynamic. It feels like man, it feels like almost like a video game, you know, like like they crash together.
Yes, wow.
Yeah.
I love the design on this dude who's up against Lance. He's got the fucking like John Lennon shades, you know what I'm saying, with the double line and like his hair, and like I just love his aesthetic. I love that he came down with the ram like we were talking about earlier with the Man of Malice. That's gonna be the tightest fight. You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
Yeah, that's gonna be the tightest fight. MASH is just gonna.
I mean,
but I mean, now we have
on Finn.
It depends on MASH too, though. Actually, I can't be confident about anything.
Depends on Finn.
It depends on Finn because Finn's obviously going to activate.
We haven't seen him.
Yeah, Finn's gonna.
We haven't seen him.
Finn's going to activate, and that's going to be cool. That's going to be hype. But then like a fucking like real like equal footing Lance fight is also going to be hype as shit, and then Mash with Innocent Zero and this like dude who is implying that he also is just like Mash. All of these fights are gonna crack, bro.
This line on page 17 when supposedly Innocent Zero, whatever. We are both abhorrent to this world.
Yeah.
Oh man, that line is cold.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
And with all abhorrent is like one of the strongest words ever, isn't it? Like abhorrent is like really one of the strongest words ever.
You see that a lot in
English language.
You see that word a lot in Magic the Gathering. That's like an adjective that's like used very often in like card names or like in flavor text and shit.
Right.
But
hell yeah.
But dude, like, okay, so this dude, this mystery man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
V for Vendetta,
fucking like whatever you want to call him, G. Like, we talked about it earlier in the show on another episode about how like, is he exactly like Mash, or is he like Mash but in like a different way, like anti-magic? Right. You know what I mean? And not just like physical strength. What do you guys think that you would like more? Like, do you think that it would be cool if he's saying we're both abhorrent to this world because he knows they're different, and how? Or do you think it would be cool if he said we were both like that?
I got a good answer to this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I want to have a physical whole section of this story, and I do want him to be high physical prowess just like Mash, but I want it so like they have mana, but they can't use it for spells. Like they're going to be able to use it to like reinforce
like
their physical abilities. Like key. And so that they can be different. They can be separate, and Mash can, exceed these other physical people that we may see, but just by, not just and that's it. Like there's got to be a little bit more there, and like that would be fine to go that way.
That there, I think, just perfectly ties in what I was saying earlier too, right? Like if this masked guy is Innocent Zero and he rescued people from prison, people who are super strong and dangerous and dangerous to the status quo of magic users, and it's because they have the key line of magic, aka just sheer raw power, and the government doesn't want that. The government wants
because look at what Mash is doing in this school.
Up magic exactly.
Wow.
So like they want to just gang up on the non-magic users and put them in prison because they're afraid of them. And this guy's gonna be like, no, we shouldn't fight. You should join my team, bad team of non-magic users. You know what I mean? I could definitely see that happening.
You can just see him being
it's Innocent Zero and then Innocent 1. It's Innocent 0 and then Innocent 1 through 6 because they're all innocent. They haven't done anything besides just not have magic. Shit. And the government knows. The government knows that they haven't done anything wrong, and they're just it's all stemming from Nick because Nick is saying like they're endangering the status quo because they're abhorrent to this world in a way that, because look at Mash go through this fucking school, dude. Like Mash is literally just strong arming any mage that he comes across because
he already has a gold star. He already has a gold star for doing no magic.
That's way too much talent.
The status quo wants.
That's way too much talent. Wow.
And he's really not faced like much of a challenge. Like most of this has been fairly easy for him at this point.
Until he ran into Buddy. Until he ran into Buddy.
And this everything that Nick says is just so perfect because like this just gives me my favorite type of villain, like the charismatic villain that is spitting, right? Like every time you're just like you're pouring the Henny, like all right, okay, this guy's
trying to do the right thing the wrong way.
And he can charismatically draw people to his side that are being shunned, and not only and it even allows like single line users to want to fuck with him, being that they're basically looked down upon for being single.
They're second class, and so like let's get rid of classes.
Exactly. So there's so much there that can happen from this type of villain, and that's why I don't think this is going to be a definitive fight at all. I think Mash is going to give him some hands. Mash is going to lose, and or there's something that stops the fight. Like there's just no way that Mash just beats this guy. I don't think.
Or they come to an agreement of some kind, and they're like, "Hey, you want to know what? You do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing. We don't necessarily need to align with each other. We don't need to beat each other, but like
that's fine
I'm gonna be here here in the background while you keep chilling.
I like that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wow.
Yeah. Danchou, were you trying to jump in?
For that.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying that I actually agree exactly with what Kiko was saying. Where I wanted it to become something where, since we're getting introduced to somebody who already is like him so soon, we should be getting more of them. Like, and I wanted to become a thing where like these people know what's going on, and maybe if they're underlying right now, or they have a secret society somewhere, or whatever they got going on, it'd be really cool to see them make a stand, you know, in some type of way, you know. And he just seems like the just beginning of that.
Wow.
What's happening?
Ooh.
Definitely.
Okay, Mashle.
Yeah, bro. This is definitely, like I said,
love this story.
This was the right choice.
Deeper than we thought.
Deeper
than we thought, bro. Deeper than anybody would have initially thought. Yeah, you got little hints here and there, little hints, and then, like I was saying, like the first time we saw the headmaster too, and I think that's what Nick was saying too. Maybe one of the last times we had a conversation about this, but like right then and there, I just like, nope, this is real shit right here. Like this is definitely, you know, a bigger story than when we got anybody initially thought.
Corkscrew apple peeler fucking voodoo doll things.
Yes. And it's always so like, and it's stressful, right? Because like you see the points of potential in the series where you're like, this could be so good if they went this direction with it, but it's so gaggy that you're like scared that it's just going to like rely on that gaggy atmosphere. And if if they did rely on it, how long can they keep that gag going for an entire series that we are sure is probably going to be over 100 chapters at least? You know what I mean? And it's like, can they really maintain everything that like initially draws you into this series for that long on that dynamic alone? But no, here we are right now. All of those potential points where we were like, this could really be something, are starting to be fleshed out in ways that are making the series so promising and so exciting to cover. And I'm
so
let's.
I got actually one quick question. I kind of want to go around and see what you guys think about Finn in particular. Do you think he's going to be a Usopp type or a Zenitsu type? You know, like, because he's clearly cowardly.
Zenitsu, because like we all want to say he's lightning, and we have so much evidence to support that now. And obviously he has those characteristics of like a Zenitsu or an Usopp. But like I definitely don't want it.
Not too far away from each other,
right? But like, I think Kiko was talking about like, is he going to pass out and then activate?
Well, and not only so much that, but
that would be like way too much as a Zenitsu.
Well, and I don't want him to pass out and activate. I just want him to like actually have, like, because Usopp doesn't actually have power to best a big time, you know, adversary. He never will, and that's fine, and that's totally fine. But Zenitsu can probably, and I've only seen the anime, so like I'm sure in the future Zenitsu's waxing people, and how couldn't he? Like his shit is cold blooded, you know. So like, I think Zenitsu type is better for Finn. You can't have him just pass. All right, now I'm tight. Kill everybody, you know, and then wake up. Oh, hey, what did I do? How did I get here? What the fuck happened?
It could still be it could be like a blacked out situation where like not like a Hakuba, because obviously you have to fall unconscious for Hakuba too inside of One Piece. But it could just be a completely separate multiple personality situation, where he's the way that we see him now, and then when he activates, another kind of starkly different personality comes out and then like fights for him while he's still the same person, or like an Escanor. You know what I mean? It could be a situation like that. Wow.
True.
Ooh.
Well,
maybe a reactor instead of a actor.
Yes. For sure. So
very excited to see that fight.
So excited.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got.
I agree too.
I think we can go ahead and move into what feels weird being the last chapter of the week. Black Clover, chapter 257, Rise to Action.
This is so good.
How you feel, Noxie?
I feel amazing, dude.
I said in the chat, like, this chapter was really good.
I'm so happy for Black Clover.
When I was reading it,
chapter.
I'm like, what Noxie didn't want to happen, but I wonder if he'll be all right about how it did.
So wait, I forgot what I said.
You said you didn't want, you literally didn't want him to do exactly what he did and go, magnificent Yamisuke Hiro.
Yeah, and then regenerate.
Now, you knew that was going to happen. Even though you knew it was going to happen, the execution I thought was actually very good, because what we were saying last chapter, right? Like,
we got the exposition on his actual match. magic,
so lame. You know what I mean? So just terrible. But then this dude went from Teletubby to an apostle from Berserk. You know what I mean? Like, this dude looks sick. Like this big beef arms and just like this claws and hands.
Hey, you want to know why? He lost the belt. He lost the belt.
The belt was the cheesiest
part. The belt was killing me. Yes. The belt was killing me.
It was.
And we get this facial panel, this beautiful, like, malicious, demonic facial panel from Dante.
You're talking about page 2, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about page 2. Yeah. So we get that, and remember when Vanica was doing her shit, and we were like, Vanica is like the scariest fucking one out of all of these, and then Kiko, you were like, we're probably going to see this face from all of these guys at some point when they really activate. Here we are, right here.
Yeah.
And it's
the dialogue is nice.
Yeah, and the dialogue too.
And I think it's actually a good, I don't know, maybe a storytelling technique. I don't know. The way that you got Zeno first, and he never did all this. He didn't need to do all this to accomplish his goal. And then we saw Vanica, and it's like, okay, she's the bottom tier. So we saw the middle tier really first, really put in the work. And then we saw the bottom tier. I mean, we saw Dante, throughout the whole time, really. Right. But then we saw the bottom tier of the 3 really activate the most, which is like, okay, obviously her being the bottom tier, you expect the other 2 to be as strong and as crazy, and obviously, but it just, I don't know. I think it flowed well going 2, 3, 1.
Yeah.
I mean, and not having. And having 1 actually go all the way as far as 3 had to go, where 2 didn't. Like that leaves a little bit up for a maybe a power struggle on who's actually number 1 towards the end of this.
Wow.
So I really like, and I think maybe Eagle said it last week. I don't remember. Somebody said, like, what if Dante just loses and he has to go back and say, I fucked up and lost. I don't know, maybe that's Noxie. I don't remember, but somebody said that. I really like that, and even though it doesn't look like that's kind of really going to happen here, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, really, with the last panel, which we can talk about later, but it's I don't know. I just felt like this flowed better than I initially gave it credit for.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And I'm so happy to have been wrong, very wrong about how I thought that the series. I mean, like, I don't want to say like I don't want to say I don't want to say it's completely blown my expectations out of the water, but I definitely and it's just because it's Yami, dude. Like Yami, like the chapters can't be bad when Yami is there. He's that good of a character. His fights are that like well thought. Like you can clearly tell that this is Tabata's favorite character in the whole story. You know what I mean? And it's cool how tropey shonen things that I would normally complain about in Black Clover just don't make me mad when Yami's involved. You know what I mean? It's just like, I can't do this without you. Like, Asta can't move. He's on the corner. He's like, I'm fucked. I can't do this without you. Asta, well, here I am. He ate his spinach. And now he's like, and now he's standing there. And it's like, I
100% agree, because that is like such a tropey, like, I just found the strength within me. I just found it somewhere. And like, super tropey, but I did go like, fuck yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, dude, give me this shit.
See, at the end of the day, like, shonen, I won't say, like, I always say, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and obviously shonen, we're not going to say that, like, it's great that we got stories like Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, we need fresh, takes on things, but still, sometimes when you just do what's worked for fucking 40 years, sometimes it's still work, like, sometimes you're like,
well, these tropes are here for a reason, because they're known to be successful. They're what got us into like this entire like genre in the first place. Like, we like these things, but that doesn't mean that they can't be poorly executed or become stale. You know what I mean? So if you're the kind of writer that can take those tropes like Tabata can here and still make them hype moments, even though we've seen them a million times, then like that's a testament to Tabata himself. You know what I mean? Which is amazing. You know what I mean? But that but it's just Yami. Like it's just like Yami just makes every chapter good. You know what I mean? It's just, he's just that well written of a character. His aesthetic is that good. His power is that tight. He's that interesting. He's still a very mysterious character. We don't know what's going on with his origin, but we know enough about him to where we can have scenes like this and just be completely enthralled with the entire situation, even though it's pulling from very
and Yami's are almost Gojo, right? Like he's almost Gojo.
I don't think he's like as OP relatively.
No,
no,
hell
he is the
Gojo's
cool
god, basically.
Tabata loves Yami, and you know it's like definitely. Danchou, like what? I actually don't know. Like I assume you've been reading Black Clover for a long time. What do you think about this chapter?
I've been reading Black Clover since the beginning, so I have I have really harsh like critiques on Black Clover in a lot of ways because I like it's because it was something that I thought was going to be original, like super original at first, and then it kind of did not do that at all. But like, in terms of what's going on,
for 30 chapters, 40 chapters,
right. But what's going on currently, like you guys were saying, I don't enjoy seeing the same thing with these type of tropes over and over again.
Yeah.
But the thing is, since the synthesis of what Black Clover fans have been enjoying, you gotta accept what you've sometimes been giving because the fans like it, right? So Tabata's not going to stop because they eating it up, you know? So with getting it, at least now I feel like with Yami around, he's trying to figure out in a way, I guess, of at least making it compelling. Like I said, my favorite part would have to be the dialogue from Dante. And just him talking about how no matter what, I'm immortal now. Like, I'm going to bring the evil. Like, no matter what's going to happen, I'm here.
You can be as tight as you want.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm completely obsessed with how cool you are. You're an amazing character. You're an amazing mage. I fuck with you, but like, I'm that guy, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so go ahead.
I was gonna say, in terms of the dialogue, like going back to page 2, I have a question for y'all. So like he gets totally obliterated. He gets splatted by Yami, and this is before he like transforms and heals himself or whatever. And he says, "Inconceivable. No human could possibly fight me when going all out. No one actually exists." Is he talking about Yami, or is he talking about a third person who also can beat him?
Oh, it could be that.
Danchou, you think it's a third person?
It definitely could be a third, but like I feel like he's like snapping out of it like in the moment because his arrogance is saying like this shouldn't be happening to me. Well, no, it's happening right now, and the man is in front of me right here. Right. So like that's kind of like how I took it because he says
I can see it either way.
Yeah, he says no. What do you think, he says no one actually exists. That's right. That's right part makes me think that he's thinking of Yami right here.
Right.
Yeah, I took it as him acknowledging Yami as well, and then
and he says that's why right now.
This choreography,
I'm in this
man, is
humiliating
just
state.
too much.
I mean, I thought of Julius, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought of Julius and like, cause it's just like, maybe it's coincidental, but they're attacking after Julius had a major power down, like it's, he's been nerfed. So like, and now they're attacking now. Well, I don't know, maybe they were, but the more you guys, I mean, I think he kind of sold me that it's just,
I agree. I think
kind of changing his mind. Changing his mind. Like, okay, well, shit, one actually exists right the fuck here in front of me. He's doing shit to me, right? Like, yeah. It's putting holes in me, like switch me up here today, like I gotta.
Choreography went dummy in this fucking chapter again. Yeah. And it's just when you have a swordsman, it's like swordsman, like with an artist like Tabata, who excels in these high octane. Like his choreography is amazing. It always has been. You know what I mean? And when you have an artist of this caliber that does really good with like stark whites and blacks, and you have this all black darkness like forest, these pages just all look amazing because that energy is just so appealing to the eye with the contrast, plus the movement inside of a physical character that uses a sword is just always going to hit. You know what I'm saying? So
that's why we've said that like there are so many characters in Black Clover that seem to have a sword ability, even though they're all mages. There's a lot of sword type, magics, and it's like why? Well, because he likes drawing swords, he likes drawing sword fights, and sword fights look cool as hell. So why not? You know?
Why did he do a magic manga in the first place? Why did he just do a fucking fighting a hand-to-hand manga? Because he clearly kills it with that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. I just want to point out too, like the kanji in this panel where Yami is pulling his sword back, it says page? Like scree, like on page 6. It says like scree, like like a whistle or something. Like when he pulls his sword back, it's with such speed that it like whistles through the air.
Yes.
My hand is cold, baby.
Yep.
For real.
Yep. I love that.
He's cocking that death thrust back, bro.
And then
Wow.
Hell yeah.
That's nice.
Wow, man. Was there anything else that we
I mean, I feel like we gotta talk more about the end. I feel like we gotta talk more about that.
Well, I feel like before even the end, we have to talk about Dante's ability. Like that we.
A lot
of people felt like body magic felt like this was kind of ass pully, and it's like no, he already did this. He did definitely heal himself, and we were like, how is he doing this? I mean, this is this the gravity magic? How could this be gravity magic? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, Nick made a good point that it could be like less gravity here, more gravity here, making it like
pulling,
go into it seven. Going
but
into
this definitely makes more sense for sure.
Yeah. And we've been talking about
body magic. Body magic is totally in line with all the other magic of the Spade Kingdom.
Bone magic,
hair,
blood
nail,
magic,
airs. Exactly. So like body makes total sense. Easy.
Yeah, especially since he's the king of all these, human, I don't know, magics, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
Body magics. But I feel like him saying like he won't age at all is dumb. Like I'm just like, so is he doing this to Zeno and Xenon or whatever?
Wait, he won't age at all? Is he dumb?
That's just
he can constantly replenish his cells and just keep himself from aging.
And I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying like
why make him immortal?
Mm-hmm.
Why does he need to be immortal? It's like they're raising him up as the final bad guy, that he'll always be there, in the shadows. I'll never die, but he's not the final bad guy, right?
Yeah, but if he's gonna have body magic, why wouldn't he be immortal? If he can really control his body to that degree, this is like enhancer class.
Well, like Kiko said, it's not that it doesn't make sense. It does make sense for the ability.
It makes sense.
Why do it narratively?
I just don't really want it, and it's like it's off-putting when you think of the past of like his past and stuff, like, and how he took this. But it's like, okay, I guess maybe you got the devil after, like, right before you overthrew Spade Kingdom, and kicked fucking Yuno's family out or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he overthrew it immediately after he got that devil. But it just feels like somebody who's been immortal would be around longer than this, right? Like,
I do wonder, is he immortal by definition because of magic, or is it because the devil is upping his magic so much?
I think that's it. The second, the latter.
Now he is immortal. With the contract.
I think so. That makes sense. But yeah, I mean, still feels weird that like somebody with this is, and it's fine. Like I said, it's not a deal breaker for me in any way. Like it's totally.
It just would have been better if we got more hints of Dante earlier in the series before getting him now, like little subtle hints, like that this character is a thing.
Like, we heard over here in Spade Kingdom that this crazy fucking guy's been running shit for a while, and we don't know what's going on over there, but we've heard,
little tiny pieces of dialogue we can go back and remember and be like, they've been talking about Buddy, and we just didn't know.
Well, and with Asta's fucking anti-magic, he can just cancel fucking, regeneration, right? So like it's not that big of a deal or anything. I'm just like,
We'll get the team attack where the anti-magic is the reason why he loses, because he can't regenerate because he's cutting off the
anti-magic slash, dimensional slash at the same time. It's gonna be a cross slash.
If they end the fucking arc the same way they ended the elf arc with a joint attack from fucking like Asta and Yami again.
Well, Yuno's out of here, but I see. But you're just saying Yami and
Yuno
Asta,
could still
right?
come back though by the end of the arc and be,
that's true.
Be a part of the final battle. He
could whoosh right in.
That's how he comes in. Whoosh, he comes in on a fucking Nimbus
as we
cloud.
said before, like it's possible Dante could lose here. You know what I mean? Like like his ability doesn't. I mean, I guess to be fair, so far in this fight, he's not used gravity at all in this like big beefy boy form.
Big man fight.
He's not used gravity yet, and that's going to make this fight way crazier when he does start using gravity. But it is possible he could leave, and the final battle of the arc could be against Dante, but then with more mages in play, like say
it'll be all three of the Dark Triad together versus the entirety of the protagonist side. And I feel like that is evidence that says he does have to lose here because Xenon and Megicula accomplished their goals. So Dante loses, goes back to the crib. Megicula and Xenon got their people. They still need to save those people. You know what I mean? So there's still conflict later that has to happen in more than just Dante coming back for round two. You know what I mean?
It's not like Yami would just like hang back, like, they need me, I can't go. No, he's gonna go.
And you bring conflicts to the villain side, which is the best. Like, you need conflict on the opposition. You just have to have it there because it's just kind of like, just another level of storytelling that just needs to be there for me. Because if
and
all
that
the bad guys
all
agree
out throughout the rest of Jump, we see that all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, you definitely feel it with Hero and stuff like that. I mean, Hero's kind of the big one that pops in my head. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, they're always beefing. Everybody's beefing. Yeah, exactly.
In this chapter, we were talking about contention and the antagonist. Yeah.
Definitely. Wow. So yeah, like that's really good. And also, I mean, if Dante gets totally obliterated, he can just always pull a Majin Buu and, hey, one of my cells survived, so I come back. It's like, you know, like, right. So like he can be totally wiped the fuck out and come back, and it's not, you know, ass pulley really, you know, like it's only as much. I mean, as much as Dragon Ball Z is, which is the ass pulliest series ever, but whatever, you know.
Fairy Tail fans would like to have a word.
Yeah, they would. They might actually be correct on that.
I'm sorry. I had to.
I heard the first opening hitting in this panel with all the flashback panels.
Yes.
Like that's going to be a musical score there in the anime.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just thought this nice. This scene was very, very, very well executed for how tropey it is. Yes. I just thought I really did feel it. The art super crisp. The flashback. The yes sir. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Just everything that this series does well in one chapter.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I always love like a montage panel that I can actually zoom in and read all the shit in the montage.
Yeah. Like sometimes you don't get it like that.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Wow.
And every time I see any kind of montage, I always think, you're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. Around.
I love that song, man.
Hell yeah.
So that's it. That's all I got.
That's all I had.
Yeah, I have the tiger too.
I have the tiger.
Hell yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Back on the street.
Well, yeah, I think that about that's pretty much it.
I'm good.
That's pretty much it.
Wow, what a conversation tonight, you guys.
Hell yeah.
So happy to have Danchou.
Danchou,
I appreciate it, man.
Yes. I love Danchou.
I love you guys.
Yes.
I really do. I really do love you guys.
Yeah.
We love you too, Danchou.
Love you too.
Hope you come back on soon.
Oh, anytime. Just ask me. I'm here. I ain't doing nothing. COVID got me free, you know?
Yes, right. Yeah, we got a little bit more time.
Free.
Yeah.
Facts.
So, you know, let me know.
Well, shit, I think that'll do it. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you did, be sure to slap that like button if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and hit that noti bell if you're new to the channel or have been enjoying the content so far. Make sure you hit that comment section down below. Let us know what you thought of this week in Jump, or if you want to just chop it up, ask us questions, whatever. Make sure you hit that.
Yes.
Also, visit that link tree in the description box down below, like we said earlier, where you can find links to any and all of our online communities, audio listening platforms to consume the podcast on, as well as links to support the podcast if you would be so inclined and kind.
Yes.
And
links to Danchou's channel.
Words. Yes, links to Danchou's channel, as well as
please watch him.
Go
this is a smart young man right here.
Hunter panel from AniTubeCon 2020, which was fire.
Yes. Amazing.
And with that all said, this will be another incredible episode of the Project Manga podcast wrapping up. I'm your host.
Thank you, guys.
Peace, yo. It's Kiko.
Noxie.
And Nickums. Thank you, Danchou.
Danchou.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Love you.
Sarabada.